Okay, the recording has been started. Can someone confirm if my screen is also visible? I need to confirm this every time so that you know we are good to go. Is my screen visible? Yes, no. Okay then. See, okay. Let us do a quick recap about the yesterday session. So this theory part will be completed in a matter of there are 4 more sessions. After that, we can jump into the Java program, jump into the Java actual program. Okay. So till that, I need you all to focus on this theory part. Right. So the class, so we have understood the difference between, the static programming languages and the dynamic programming language, right? After that, we have also understood why preprocessor is there in C and C++, and why the concept of preprocessor is not there in Java. Okay, we have got to know about this understanding. Then we have got to know why C and C++ are called as are found to be platform dependent programming language. Why is Java platform independent programming language? The third major difference, very, very important difference that we have understood. And yesterday we have discussed about why pointers are existed in C and C++, why the concept of pointers are not available in Java. Fourth difference. So we have understood these things in detail in the yesterday session. Okay. So what is a pointer? What is a pointer? When this is the question, what is a pointer? Pointer is called as what? The address reference. For example, if you are writing a C program and if you are declaring some variables like price variable, money variable, right? The data is 1000 and here the money for the money variable, the data is 2000, right? So because of this representation, so in the memory, from the memory point of view, okay, a memory gets allocated for the price variable and another memory gets allocated for the money variable, right? After this, what you want to do actually, after this, if you want to actually store the address of the reference variable, address of another variable, okay, here you are actually storing the values, but if you want to store the address of another variable to a different memory location, that concept is called as what? The pointer variable, right? What are pointers? Pointers are nothing but they are going to store the address references of the variable. They are called as pointer. So they are available in C and C++ programming language. Why they are available? Because C and C++ they are performing the memory allocation during the compilation time. There is a time called compilation. So during the compilation time, this C or C++ program, they ensure that the memory is getting allocated during the compilation time. Are able to sense? Okay, so that's the reason why, since the C and C++ are platform dependent programming language, the memory allocation is happening during the compilation time, it is possible to have pointers concepts in C and C++ language, because that is the internal design. Okay, when you want to have pointers, we also have to ensure that the language is platform dependent. Okay, so when you are ensuring that the language is platform independent, then you cannot have pointers. I was telling you, right, in the yesterday session, why Java can't have pointers. Java can't have pointers because Java is what? The platform independent programming language. The memory allocation happens in the runtime, right? So if you want to achieve the pointers concepts in Java programming language, so you need to compromise on the platform independency. The language should be platform dependent programming language. Then only you can have the pointers concepts, because the pointer concepts all talks about the memory allocation that has to happen during the compilation time, but Java is allocating the memory during the runtime. So it is inevitable that you cannot even have the pointers concept. You need to sacrifice one thing for for one advantage. So Java is maintaining the platform independency. That's why pointer, it cannot have pointers. C and C++ are platform dependent programming language. That's why they can have pointers, right? So if you look back and see the theory, how the theory can be drafted. What is a pointer? Pointer is a variable. It will store the address location of particular data structure. That data structure can be what? A normal variable or an array or another pointer variables. Okay. Next point. The pointers are recognized and executed at the time of compilation time. Right. So what are the major points that we have for the pointers? Pointer variables require the static memory allocation. That's why they are supported by the static programming language. Example C and C++. But Java is what? Java is the dynamic programming language. First major point. Second major point, okay, you have to address all these points during the interview round. So when they ask you why Java does not have pointers, so these are the valid points that you can give it to them. Right. Second point, pointer variables are very much suitable for platform dependent programming language, but Java is platform dependent. Third point, pointer variables will provide less security because data can be compromised, because you with the help of pointers one can able to get the exact location of the data. Memory address location can be fetched by using pointers. That's why the pointer concept is eliminated in Java, because Java, when they are developing Java, they have ensured that Java needs to be the highly secured programming language. If any language wants to be highly secured, if any language wants to give high security to its programming language, okay, that should have that language should not have the pointers concept, because pointers concept can compromise the security. You get address location of the memory. Hope you're able to get this. Right. So after this, what we have, pointers are a bit confusion oriented future, but Java is a simple programming language. In order to eliminate confusion, the pointers concepts has been removed. Okay. So this is the brief discussion about what Java, why the pointers concepts are not there in Java programming language. Okay. Today the one more difference, the major difference. Okay. So the fifth difference. So today is class 7. Right. So in today's class, we are going to understand why multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. Why multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. A very popular interview question, guys. Very popular interview questions. You may get this question very often. Okay, these questions often asked in the interview room, even for the experienced candidates as well. Okay, so let us expand our knowledge on top of multiple inheritance. First of all, the question should be why multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. But the question should be what is an inheritance? Okay. Before understanding multiple inheritance, we need to understand what is inheritance in Java. Okay. So inheritance is a concept that is available for all the programming languages. First of all, you must understand inheritance concept is not limited to Java itself. We see major OOPS concepts that is available in all the programming languages. You see this inheritance concept in all the programming languages. Now the question should be, what is inheritance? What is inheritance? So I want you to understand. I want you to develop an intuition. The intuition is like in the object-oriented programming language. So forget about object-oriented programming language. In Java, especially in Java, if you are learning Java, Java always allocates memory in the form of objects. Whatever the data that you want to store by using the Java programming language, the data would be stored in such a way that it will be stored in the form of objects. Or I can say that all the data must be represented in the form of objects. Again, you can ask me, what is an object? Object is nothing but a memory allocation. For example, if you have a RAM, guys, RAM, you know what is RAM? A random access memory. If you have a RAM, okay, if you want to store a data, like for example, if you want to store a simple string like Balaji is a string. You want to store this. You want to store this by using Java programming language. Okay, each and every data. Okay, Balaji can be a data, 1000 can be a data, and a character can be a data. Okay? Each and every data can be stored in the form of what? The form of what? Objects. Right. So behind the scenes, in the RAM area, okay, an object needs to get created. This object is going to store the respective data. Everything is an object in Java. That's what I'm trying to say. Every data must be represented in the form of object. What is an object? Object is nothing but a memory area. That's it. For now, just think that object is nothing but a memory area. You want to store Balaji? Okay, take the object and store. You want to store a numerical value like 1000, take the object and store. If you want to store a simple character like capital A, take an object and store. Okay, in the RAM area, okay, for every data an object will be created, and this is how the data is going to get represented behind the scenes. Right, all the data must be represented in the form of objects. Likewise, in the object oriented programming system, generally there is an acronym called OOPS. Oops means nothing but object oriented programming system. Okay, so Java is one of the object oriented programming language that follows OOP system, which means object oriented programming system. Under this object oriented programming system category, it can be further divided into a class, first one, second one is object, okay, third one is abstraction, okay, inheritance, and you have like something like polymorphism, okay, and you have last one, encapsulation. So these are the object oriented features in the Java programming language. You have the class category, you have the object category, okay, classes and objects, and you have a concept called abstraction, you have a concept called inheritance, you have a concept called polymorphism, and you have a concept called encapsulation. Okay, having said this, we are going to study each and every category in detail in the future topics. But today, our understanding has to be on top of what is inheritance. We need to understand what is inheritance. What is inheritance? So this is the question actually. Okay, so before understanding inheritance, let me give you a small theory about inheritance. It is a relationship between classes. This is a relationship between classes. It will provide variables and methods of one class to another class in order to improve reusability. So what does it really mean? So I am just saying that for the inheritance, I am saying it is a relationship between classes. Okay, it will provide variables and methods of one class to another class in order to improve reusability. Okay, here if you see, I am categorically saying that one class means, let us say it as super class. Okay, to another class is representing what? Representing subclass. You will understand what is superclass, and we are going to understand what is the subclass. Okay, let's go back to the page screen. So we are trying to understand what is inheritance. Okay, so this definition can be converted to the eye level diagram. Okay, I want you to understand something, guys. Let me take a class. Okay, the name of the class is, I want to take the name of the class as Windows operating system, Windows OS. Okay, in Java programming language, for the simple understanding, in not only in Java, if you want to develop any application, guys, in Java, if you want to develop any application, whether it can be a small scale application or whether it can be big scale application, if you want to write some logic, always remember to write the logic within the class boundary. Okay, what is a class? Class is a keyword and you're going to have an identifier. Okay, you can name your class anything. So for the simplicity, I'm naming my class as Windows operating system. Whatever the logic that you want to write by using the Java programming language, you want to develop any application. The application can be a small scale application or a large scale application. Okay, you can write the business logic within the class boundary. What is the class boundary? The opening parenthesis and the closing parenthesis, followed by the class keyword, followed by the class name. Okay, you can have whatever you want within this class boundary. So the business logic can be written within the class boundary. Okay, every class is going to have some properties. Second one is every class is going to have some properties and some methods. Okay, the combination of these properties and method is going to give you the business logic. Logic can be anything. I am simply saying that a business logic. Business logic is nothing but the logic that can be used to produce some output. Okay, business logic. Okay, what did I just said? In Java programming language, if you want to develop any application, you can develop small scale or large scale, and you need to use the class. Okay, so in our example, I'm taking the name of the class as Windows operating system. This is the name of the class. Okay, and this is talking about the class boundary, opening parenthesis and the closing parenthesis, class boundary. Inside this class boundary, you can have properties and you can have methods. Okay, when I say properties can be any instance variables, any data. Yesterday we were discussing, no, right? Integer, money equal to something, money equal to some value. Okay, this is called as a property. This is called as property. Any data you can represent in the form of properties. And methods, we will discuss about the methods later. The combination of properties plus methods is called as what? The business logic. You can develop a full-fledged business logic with a combination of properties and methods. Okay, you have one class. Okay, this is one class. Okay, I want to take another class. Okay, and the name of the class is what? Let me take the name of the class as Lenovo. Okay, so I have two classes, and even this Lenovo has some properties and some methods. Okay, so our understanding should be on inheritance case. We are trying to understand what is inheritance, not what is class or what is object. Here, our understanding here is about all about what? Inheritance. Inheritance. Okay. Inheritance. Now focus here, guys. Focus here. I have two classes. These two classes are independent class. Why independent? No relationship between these two classes. So I want to understand this with the high level diagram. It is just like this. I have one class here and I have another class here, right? And the name of this class is Windows OS. Okay, the name of the another class is Lenovo. What is the name of another class? Lenovo. Okay, this one is Windows OS. Okay, since these two classes are independent, there is no relationship here. I want to make a relationship between these two classes. I want to create a relationship. If I want to create a relationship, I want to use a keyword called, there is a keyword called extends keyword. Extends keyword. So this extends keyword is used to make a relationship between two classes. How a relationship can be made? So I have a Windows operating system. Okay, I want to ensure that this Lenovo is creating a relationship, is making a relationship with Windows operating system. What I would do, I would say class Lenovo, please extends to, please use extend, please extends to, class Lenovo extends to Windows OS. Okay. The moment I use this extends keyword, these two independent classes now is having a relationship. How the relationship has happened? Just because of this extends keyword. Because you have used a keyword, the name of the keyword is extends, and you are calling the another class name. Here the name of the another class is what? Windows OS. Windows OS is already there. Windows OS is already there. So what you are literally doing, you are doing what? You are creating a relationship. You are making a relationship between two classes. Previously, they are both are independent. Now they are having a relationship like this. Okay, Lenovo is having a relationship with Windows operating system. Why the relationship has happened? Because knowing or knowingly or unknowingly, you have used what keyword? You have used extends keyword. Okay, okay. What has happened after using extends keyword? What is the big deal here? What's the big deal? So we have made two independent classes and we have created a relationship between these two independent classes. Now Lenovo has a relationship with Windows OS class. Lenovo is a class which has relationship between Windows OS class. Okay, the class that is making the relationship, the class where you are using the extends keyword, or else you can say that the class that is just before the extends keyword, the class which is just before the extends keyword, Lenovo. Okay, this Lenovo class becomes, you can call it as the base class. or you can call it as the child class, or you can call it as what? The subclass. Okay, the class that is placed after the extends keyword. In this case, Windows operating system is the class that is placed after the extends keyword. This class is called as what? Derived class. I'm sorry guys. This is derived class. The derived class, child class, or subclass. Class. Okay. The class that is placed after the extends keyword. Okay, you call that class as what? The super class or parent class or base class. Base class. What we have done so far, we have taken two independent classes. One class is Windows OS and second class is Lenovo. Right? You are these two independent classes. You want to make a relationship. You are using what? You are using the extends keyword. Okay, the class that is before the extends keyword is going to be the child class or subclass or derived class. The class that is after the extends keyword is going to be what? Super class or the parent class or the base class. Okay, relationship has happened. Now we need to understand the inheritance. We need to understand what? We need to understand inheritance. What is inheritance here? So in the real-time example, guys, so we have parents, right? Parents. Okay, parents, they have children. Okay. Usually what parents do? Parents, they make money, first of all. They make money, they work a lot, they make money, right? So these are the things, they create assets, okay? They create money, they make money, they invest in our education. So many things they do, right? So what is the relationship between parents and children? There is a relationship between parents and children. What kind of relationship? Whatever the assets formation or whatever the money they make or whatever the emotions that they carry is also applicable to the children, yes or no? Okay, the same assets or the same assets or money, even though it is being created by the parents. Okay, even though these assets is being generated by the parents, even though the money is being created by the being made by the parents, the children has the equal rights to take the ownership of these assets as well as money, right? So these things are getting inherited to the children, yes or no? Even though it belongs to the parents, directly or indirectly the child has access to these assets as well as money. Whatever the things that the parents has, those things will be inherited to the children. Inheritance is happening knowingly or unknowingly. Likewise, even in the Java classes, okay, if you have two classes and if you make a relationship, okay, by looking at this extends keyword, you can say which one is super class or parent class or base class and which one is derived class or child class or subclass. Okay, same thing. What are the properties and methods? The properties and methods that is available with Windows operating system is applicable for Lenovo as well, Lenovo laptop as well. Example, if you are downloading a Windows OS, okay, what you get usually, you get Notepad, right? You get MS Word, Microsoft, all Microsoft application things that you get, right? And you get what? Calculator. So many things will come along with the operating system, yes or no? This operating system is going to give you everything, things like Notepad, MS Word, calculator. Okay? The moment it is like the Lenovo laptop or Lenovo machine is inheriting all the facilities or all the applications that is given by the Windows operating system. By using extend keyword, you are extending it. It means you're going to get all the services that is being offered by Windows operating system. It is applicable to this also. If you want to get a specific service, like if you want to develop a specific application, for example, if you want to develop a specific laptop that is related to Lenovo machine, you can get that. Or if you want a specific game that is related to Lenovo machine, you can get that specifically, right? But indirectly you are able to get all the properties and behaviors from the parent class. In this case, the parent class is Windows operating system. Directly or indirectly you are able to get access to all these Why you are able to get access to all this? Because you are inheriting with the Windows operating system. Lenovo is getting inherited with the Lenovo operating system, just like parent and children. Okay, Lenovo has become child and Windows OS become parent. Okay, all the properties and behaviors is applicable to the Lenovo machine as well because of this inheritance concept. If you're not inheriting, do you think that every option is going to be available for you? No. Since you are inheriting, how you are inheriting, you're using the extends keyword. Because of this extends keyword, the Lenovo becomes the child and the Windows becomes the parent. All the properties and behaviors of the parent is applicable for the child. So you are getting access for all this. This is called as inheritance in Java. This is what? This is simply called as inheritance. So go back and see. Okay, it is a relationship between classes. We made a relationship with what? By using extends keyword. After making relationship, what we are doing, it will provide variables and methods of one class, superclass to another subclass in order to improve reusability. Why we need to make relationship? To do what? To do the reusability. So in this case, you can directly utilize all the facilities that is being offered by Windows OS. Instead of developing your own application for Notepad or MS Word or calculator, you can utilize this. How utilization is happening? Instead of utilization, I can say that reusability. Reusability. Okay. Why reusability is happening? Because of the concept of inheritance. This is what the inheritance means. Okay, what is inheritance? It is a relationship between classes. How you make relationship? By using extends keyword. Okay, it will provide variables and methods of one class to another class in order to improve what? Reusability. Okay, I can also say that the main purpose of what? Main purpose of inheritance is to provide code reusability. First point. Okay, now the next question. Okay, inheritance is okay. We need to understand what is multiple inheritance. Before understanding what is multiple inheritance, we must understand how many types of inheritance are available in Java, or as a whole, how many types of inheritance is available. First one, okay, single inheritance. Okay, second one, multiple inheritance. Okay, these are the categories that we have. Single inheritance we have, multiple inheritance we have something like multi-level inheritance is also there. We are going to see each and everything in detail in the future topic, but today for the differentiation we will understand only what is multiple inheritance. Since it has been asked in many interview rooms, I am focusing here for now. Hierarchical inheritance, and last we have hybrid inheritance. We have something like cyclic inheritance. Okay, so these are the inheritance concepts. First, let us understand what is single inheritance and what is multiple inheritance and why multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. Right? First of all, single inheritance. Okay. Very simple. The definition is going to be very easy, straightforward. It is a relationship between. It is the relationship between classes. In classes, it will bring the variables and methods from one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Right? So what does it really mean? There's a relationship between classes we know. It will bring the variables and methods from one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. To understand this, I want you to understand this in the diagrammatical representation. Okay, we are understanding single level inheritance, single inheritance. Okay, let me take a simple class, guys. I want to take the class as class parent. The name of the class is class parent itself. Okay, in the parent class, I'm going to take a simple variable. Okay, integer money equal to 1000. Okay, another variable I want to take integer assets, asset equal to something like 2 lakhs. Okay, so I have two variables. One is money variable and second one is asset variable. So this is the parent class. Okay, I want to take one other class. Okay, the name of the class is what? Child class child. Class child. Okay, for the child class, what are the properties that I want to take? Integer subjects. Subjects equal to 10 subjects. Okay, very simple class. Okay, I have taken two independent class. One is parent class and second one is child class. Right? So these two classes are independent. No relationship is there. I want to make a relationship. What I want to do, sir? If I want to make a relationship, what I want to do? I simply want to use the keyword called. Okay, before that, this is how it looks like. There is a parent class and there is a child class. Okay, so the name of this class is what? Parent. The name of this class is what? Child. Okay, name of this class is what? Child. Okay, now no relationship. I want to make a relationship. If I want to make a relationship, simply I need to use the extends keyword. Okay, extends parent. The moment I do this, okay, a relationship will be created. The ed part, okay, this is the ed part, right? This is the ed part. Or you can understand like the class that is after the extends keyword, parent, is what? Is the super class. Or you can say that parent class or super class or base class, super class. Okay, the tail part, the class, this is the tail part, right? From the arrow you can say which is tail and which is head. The tail part, the class that is towards the tail part, or the class that is just before the extends keyword is called as what? The subclass or the child class or derived, derived class, super class or subclass, I'm type. Okay, so a relationship has happened here. Okay, how many properties the parent has? The parent has the money property and assets property. So this parent has two property. One is what? Money property is there. Okay, and the second one is what? Assets property. Okay, how many property the child has? Only one property, subjects property. Subjects property. If I ask you the question, how many properties does the child has? You would answer. Anyone with eyes can say that okay, there is only one property that I can see, which is what? Subjects. Only one property I can see. But my answer to this question is, if I ask myself this question, how many properties does the child class has? I would say that my child class has the three properties. One is what? One is subject properties. The second one is the inherited properties, which is money property as well as assets property. Are able to follow? Because your inheritance is happening, you are able to see with the plain eyes, you are able to see only one property, which is subjects. But due to this inheritance relationship, okay, this child has access to, indirectly it has access to this money property as well as the assets property. Totally there are three properties in child class and only two properties are there in parent class. Are able to follow? Why two properties? Because parent class is the super class, right? So they are going to deal with only the two properties. No inheritance. Parents cannot inherit the properties from child, but child can inherit the properties from parent. Base thumb rule, right? Even though you're able to see only one property name here, which is subjects, but I can see three properties. One is subject and the second one is through this extends keyword. Through this extends keyword, I am able to get access to the other properties, which are what? Money and assets, because of the inheritance. Okay. This level, what? How many level we have? How many inheritance we have? Only one inheritance. Okay, one class is extending to another class, right? So this concept is called as what? The single inheritance. Go back to the code, right? It is a relationship between classes. It will bring the variables and methods from one superclass to one or more number of subclasses, right? So this is one superclass. All the variables and methods, I am not taking methods here, I am taking only variables here. So all the variables is available for the child class also. So you may be thinking, sir, why did you write one or more number of one or to one or more number of subclasses? Okay, there may be many children. Okay, I am talking about child 1. There could be another child 2, class child 2 extends parent. Okay, this child 2 may have 5 subjects equal to 5, right? And you make a relationship like this. How you make a relationship? There is another class, there is another child. This is first child 1 subclass. Okay, there is another child. Okay, this is child 2. Okay, this child 2 would also extend to the parent. This is child 2. Child 2 is extending to the parent, right? What is the variable name of the child? What are the variable names that are subjects? Single level. One parent class, one or more number of subclasses. Single inheritance, right? Which is deciding in inheritance relationship. This one is extends keyword is deciding. What is happening because of this extends keyword? You are able to get access to all the properties and behaviors of the parent class to the subclass, child class. Knowingly or unknowingly, this access to these variables is available for the child class because you are using extends keyword. Extends keyword will give you will give this class such a power that it has access to the parent class variables as well. But parent can't get access to the child class variable. That is not possible. Even in the real time, if you are making assets as a children, if you are making assets, parents they don't have any rights, or they don't have any kind of importance to your assets, right? Your assets belongs to yourself. But when it comes to parents assets or grandparents assets, you have the rights, but they not the vice versa. They can't have rights on your assets. Same thing is happening in Java. So this concept is called as single inheritance. Okay, single inheritance is okay. What is multiple inheritance and why it is not possible in Java? That should be our understanding. Okay, now let's go by the definition. Second one, multiple inheritance. Okay, the definition is it is the relationship between classes. Let me copy and paste it here. It is the relationship between classes. It will bring variables and methods from more than one superclass, one or more number of subclasses. Okay, so by definition it is a little confusing. Let me convert this to the eye level diagram so that we will understand this better. Okay, so we are talking about multiple inheritance. What is multiple inheritance? Okay, why it is not possible in Java? Let me save this. Okay, multiple inheritance. Okay, now I want to take a class, guys. Name of this class is parent1. Okay, in my parent1 class, I am taking only one variable, integer, as or integer money equal to 2000. Okay, I am taking another class. This name of the class is parent2. Okay. Inside this parent2 class, I am taking a variable name, and the name of the variable is money 3000. Okay, and last I'm taking another class child. Okay, in the child class I am taking one variable name. The name of the variable name is what? Subjects, equal to 5. I'm giving the count as 5. Okay, these three classes are what? Independent class. Three classes are what? Independent. I have one parent here, right? I have another parent here. I'm just creating the high level diagram. I have another parent here, right? And I have one children here, one child here. Okay, all the three classes are independent. Okay, no relationship is made till now. Parent 1, parent 2, child. Okay, now what I want to do is, see guys, focus here. Okay, I'm taking this child class, and I'm using the extends keyword, right? I'm extending to parent 1 as well as parent 2. Okay, I'm using the extends keyword to make a inheritance relationship. Okay, but after using the extends keyword, I want to make a relationship between two classes. One is what? Parent 1. Second one is what? Parent 2. Okay, how does it looks like? It looks like this. Okay, one child wants to make a relationship between two parent classes. Child wants to make a relationship between what? Two parent classes, parent 1 class and parent 2 class. Okay, so far good. Relationship has been created. No issues, right? And if you count the variables, child has already one variable called the subject variables, subjects. Okay, subjects. And parent 1 has a variable name called money variable. Name of the variable is money. I'm just taking the variable names here, not the actual data. The parent 2 has the variable name called what? Money. Right? So in the child class, okay, let me just observe the improvisation here. Okay, I am taking a main method. Okay? If you ask me what is a main method is a method where the execution starts from the main method in the Java. So I will give you the complete picture about the main method in the future classes. So we will try to understand what is multiple inheritance here. Okay, the main method is a method where the execution starts. Public static void in, and you have what? You have string array arguments. Okay. I have taken a main method. Inside this main method, I am taking a simple system.out.println statement. System.out.println statement. Right? Inside this, I want to call the variable subjects. Now focus here. First line. The second line is I want to call the variable money. Okay, this is the simple code. Okay, what I have done so far, I have taken three independent classes. One is parent 1, parent 2, and the child class. Okay, and inside each and every class, I have taken one variable. Here I have taken money variable in the parent 1 class. I have taken money variable in the parent 2 class. I have taken the subject variable in the child class. Apart from that, I have taken a method like main method. Main method is nothing but the execution starts from the main method in Java. Execution will always start from the main method in Java. Okay, after this, what I want to do, I want to compile this. I want to execute this code. Okay, after the compilation and at the time of execution, what happens? A main thread will be created. Okay, the main thread will get access to the main method. Just imagine that this is the main thread. Okay, this main thread empty. I am calling it as empty. This main thread will always tries to find the main method. It will search all the program. It will keep searching all the program and it will find where is the main method. Okay, it has found the main method. Main method is somewhere here. After seeing the main method, it will feel happy and it will start executing the program starting from the first line of the main method. What is the first line? Okay, this is the first line. What the first line says? First line says just print the value from the subjects variable. subjects variable. What is the value that is there in subjects variable? 5 is the value, right? So directly 5 will be printed in the console. So far good. Okay, second line. Okay, second line. What is the second instruction? Try to print the money variable. So the main thread will encounter a problem here. It will try to identify, is there any variable like money in the current class? In the current class, it will identify, is there any variable like money? It will see, okay, it will try to see, is there any money variable? No, there is no money variable. There is only one variable, that is subject. What else it can do to search in the other areas? It will try to find, okay, this current class is extending to two parent classes. One is parent1 and second one is parent2 class. Let us search if there is money variable is there in these two classes. But unfortunately, it will identify money variable in the parent2 class as well as in the parent1 class. Here money variable is there. Here also money variable is there. In two classes, unfortunately, the money variable is found to be existed in two classes, two parent classes. Here also money variable there. Here also money variable there. What it want to print? It want to print the value inside the money variable. Money is a variable. It want to print its value, but it has found two values. It has found money variable in parent2 class. It also found money variable in parent1 class. Which value it will print? Which value it will print? It will be like, okay, let us try to print this. If it is trying to print this, it will identify another money variable here. It will go here. Okay, let's try to print this. And it finds, oh, money variable is here also. It will be like, keep thinking which one to print. Okay, it will be like going back and forth, going back and forth, going back and forth in a confused state. What did I say? It is going to face the confusing situation. Why confusing situation happened? Because of the inheritance, the way that we inherited. What is the way that we have inherited? We are inheriting the child class to two parent class. It is just like having many parents for a child. Literally, it is not possible, right? Even for Java also, you cannot have more than one parent for a Java, for a child class. You can have maximum one parent. You cannot have more than one parent. If you are having more than one parent, that concept is called as what? Multiple inheritance. You cannot have multiple inheritance. What happens if you have multiple inheritance? If you have multiple inheritance, you will encounter this kind of problems. What kind of problem? Confusion. This confusion terminology, we call it as what? The ambiguity. Ambiguity situation. Ambiguity is nothing but what? The confused kind of situation. The main thread will encounter a problem where it will not able to identify which variable needs to be printed because it has encountered two classes, two parent classes. Right? First line, no issues. First line subjects. Okay, directly subject variable is there. Output is 5. No issues. Second line, money. Okay, money variable is not there in the child class. Okay, if it is not there in the child class, it has two ways. What is the first way? Either it can search in parent1 or it can search in parent2. But parent1 has money variable, parent2 has also money variable. Which variable it needs to give importance? It will be in a dilemma. It will not able to choose which variable needs to be printed. Kind of situation called the ambiguity situation or the confused situation. Which is arising or which is originating this confused situation? Multiple inheritance. Now you have understood what is multiple. What is multiple inheritance? If it is the relationship between classes, it will bring variables and methods from more than one superclass. Able to follow? There are two superclass here, or two parent class. This is one superclass. This is another superclass, and you have only one child class with two parents or two superclasses. Okay, till there no problem. The moment you start accessing the respective variable name, which is also the variable name for another class, another parent class, then the ambiguity situation is arising here. Which variable name needs to be given priority? That can't be decided. That situation is called as what? Ambiguity situation. In order to avoid this ambiguity situation, the Java people, how they designed is the keyword. When you're using extends keyword, they ensured that you can extend to only one class. Any cause you can extend to at maximum of only one class. Maximum of only one class. Only one parent you can have. Only one parent you can have. Right? The moment you are declaring the second parent, the moment you are using the second parent after the extends keyword, the moment you are using the second parent, I mean one parent, comma another parent, then the compiler will throw an error. A restriction is placed here itself. Restriction is happening where? Restrictions are placed to which keyword? Restrictions are placed to the extends keyword. Okay, please be informed that to avoid multiple inheritance, the restrictions are placed for the extends keyword. What kind of restrictions has been placed for the extends keyword? You cannot have more than one class after the extends keyword. If you are having more than one class, that is supporting multiple inheritance, which is not possible in Java. Why it is not possible in Java? Because that multiple inheritance is going to create a situation called ambiguity situation. There is a state of confusion for the main thread. It will not come to a conclusion which variable needs to be has to be executed when the variable names are same for both the parent classes. And that's why they have said that Java cannot support multiple inheritance, because Java language needs to be a simple programming language. When some language has to be a simple programming language, the concept of multiple inheritance has to be removed. That's what Java people did. Are able to follow? You need to understand two things. What is multiple inheritance? It is a relationship between classes. It will bring variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. It is like having a child with it's like having a child class with two parent classes. It is not possible in the real time as well as in the Java also. Okay, why it is not possible? It is creating an ambiguity situation or ambiguous situation where the properties and methods of two superclasses the same property name so the restrictions has been placed for the multiple inheritance by using for the extends keyword. Why multiple inheritance is not possible? Because of ambiguous situation. How to avoid this ambiguous situation? Never place restrictions on the extends keyword where you can able to extend to only one superclass at maximum. Right? What is multiple inheritance? It is a relationship between classes. It will bring variables and method from one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. This is why multiple inheritance is not there in Java. Right? So by today we have made almost how many interview questions? With this interview question and with this exercise pointers concept, almost 18 interview questions has been prepared. I will send it to you to your email addresses. Try to revise this each and every interview question so that you will get much comfortable when you are giving an interview. Right? Totally, by the end of these classes, all the Java classes, there would be around 250 possible interview questions. You go through this each and every interview questions every single day, it is going to be very easy for you to remember. Right? So any questions for me from your side? Do you have any questions for me today? So today, that's all for the today. Tomorrow we will understand about the operator overloading. Okay. I have asked this interview question to many fellow interviewers. So, you can expect this question also. This is going to be very interesting tomorrow's class. Okay. After that, there are few more interview questions for with respect to Java theory. Then we will start programming.